press 1. To refuse this free call, press 2. To learn how to put money into your prepaid account, or thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, what's up, big bro?
You know what? I can hear you real good. What's going down?
Oh, man, just chilling, man. Another blessed day.
Yeah.
Weekend, chilling.
Already, man. We on the Trio cast, man, and want to do some catching up with you. I know it's been a minute, but I want to do some catching up with you.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Okay. We're gonna get off into it. This one gonna be kind of themed around life after the overturned death penalty.
Yeah.
You want to get off into that? You able to get off into that?
Yeah, we good. Let's go with it, man.
Okay. So now that the dust done settled a bit, man, how you feeling these days?
Oh, man, I'm just, blessed, man. Every day I wake up, man, it's blessed, And I'm feeling good, man, and I'm looking toward the future, man, what the future holds, man. Like I say, man, every day I get up, my foot touches the ground, man. I count the blessings, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause, I could have been dead,
Right.
I had
So you was facing a death penalty, and what wound up happening with that? Can you speak on it?
well, I mean, you said I was facing the death penalty. I had the death penalty. I was sentenced to death in 2014, and for the 29th, I was sentenced to death by listening to Jackson in Waco County. And I got to death row in May the 2nd. I came to death row on lunch unit of Liberty, Texas. I was housed on the lunch unit for like 9.5 years, man. Going through the appeals process. And we got like 3 appeals we go through, and then they execute it, don't have no action. Action means, you ain't got nothing in the court that's going to keep you alive or get the case overturned. They gonna put you to death, right? Set you a date. But I went through like 2 of my appeals. And every appeal they can after every appeal they can set execution date.
Right.
They ain't gotta wait. They can set execution date after the first appeal. They can set execution date and choose, but they can go all the way to the Supreme Court. That's the highest court. But in my situation, I had a low IQ.
Okay.
And, my IQ below. So that's really I gotta save my life, man.
So you got it overturned, but you wound up spending 9 years on death row, right?
Yeah, I spent 9.5 years on death row.
So in that 9 years, how many people that you know of that may have got executed that you knew and left to go get executed and just never came back?
Say about around 60.
How many?
67. Around 67. I say about 65, 70 people walked out, that I knew on death row and didn't come back. They got executed.
Okay, so that same question, but maybe they walked off to go get executed, and then something changed for them, and they didn't execute them. Do you know of any people that it happened to them like that?
I know quite a few people like that, that live next door to me. One guy lives next door to me. He went to go get executed. But when this time how the process is, once you get executed, they put you on death watch. Death watch is 14 shifts, 2 rows. 7 downstairs, 7 upstairs. So that's one section that they call death watch. When you get an execution date, they move you over there. So once you get over there, you got 30 days to 90 days to live. Doing them 30 days to 90 days to live, you know, coming to ask you, you know, what you want to do with your body. If you're done, and so they're going to pick your body up or they're going to bury it in the TDC credit card. You prepare, getting everything prepared, you know, your visitation list, stuff like that.
Right.
We basically got like 80 days, but the guys that I know with Death Watch, which I live right next door to Death Watch, quite a few of them, I say about 6, 7 of them came back. You know, out of the 65, 70 people I've seen execute.
Okay, good. Let me ask you this. So those days coming that a person know they're gonna be executed, what is their mindset like out of the people you saw, 60, 70 people? Could you give me a few of them that you remember, like what they were going through? Were they tripping? Were they excited? Like, what was their mindset?
I mean, being on death row, man, being on death row, you know, when you first get there, I'll speak on myself, and then I'm going to go into that, right?
Okay.
But when you first get to death row, you have the spirit, you know, that, you know, it's a shock, you know. When the judge, you know, he have to say you've been sentenced to death by lethal injection, you know, you got a shock, you know. And once you know, it's like it's surreal, you know, looking around like, damn, you know, I'm on death row, man, these people could kill me, you know, this is the murder. So once you get there, you're there for like a year, you know, 2, 3 years, and you've seen different guys get executed, and they execute like maybe 2 or 3 guys every month, more than that sometimes, you know. They go back to black execution sometimes, but they execute a lot of people. Texas is one of the most true execution, you know. Texas has got the highest executions in all the states. So you can imagine, you know, how many people they execute.
Right.
Out of the whole state, Texas, the machine is they work, you know, they kill it. So, but once you get there and you prepare yourself mentally, you know, in your mind, you prepare yourself to, you know, like one day, every day I wake up, I'm close to the death. So, you know, you prepare yourself mentally to die. So, one, you know, 2, 3 days week, 50 week, you know what I'm saying? You got to work out week, you know everything about his family, you know about your family, you know, and then you come get him and they kill him, and then you see him leave, you're like, oh man, you know, damn, I'm gonna be soon, they gonna get me soon, I'm ready. So in your mind, you really psych yourself out to the space and walk without fight, you know, to yourself, right?
Okay, so that's from your perspective. You were preparing to take that walk without fighting it, and did you think you arrived at, if that day came, that you were gonna just take that walk without hesitation?
I mean, nobody wanted to take without hesitation, but you know, if you don't go, they gonna beat you. You know, they gonna run in there, they gonna shoot up a team, they gonna beat you, and gas you, and you're going. You know, they gonna kill you. You know, one way or the other, going down there, they gonna kill you. They gotta beat you down there, gas you, whatever they gotta do to get you there, you're going.
Okay, so in somebody else's case that you seen that had to go take that walk, did you see anybody resist and actually get forced to go, or how did that go?
Yeah, I've seen a few people resist and fight. You know, come out the cell, you know, fighting, gassed up, pepper spray all over, no clothes on, strapped to the gurney, to where they put you in the van, shot them down, and throw you in the van, butt naked with gas all over you. You know, and it's going to take you one figure to execute. I've seen guys that, you know, they were doing push-ups, putting the chest. And when they got 24 hours or a couple hours to live, you know, they in the back room, you know, walking around like, you know, nothing happened. Like they ready, you know, know, they got their life right with God, or you know, whatever they religion is, and they ready to go.
Right.
They in peace.
Okay. Okay. So
I see both sides, you know.
right. So how's the death row house like? What does that cell block look like? And what kind of stuff can y'all have in y'all cells? So describe the cell block for us and what y'all could have in the cells.
Well, the first block, you know, it's a lucky unit, so it's not like you got the red unit and you got the new modern day unit. Well, the lucky unit was it's a newer unit. They built this unit in 1993, November the 93, and it was called the Terror Unit. But they changed the name to Polanski Unit, and it's one of the new ways like units to where it's bigger, and you know, it's still pretty roomy, you know. Got you like first, you dedicated to be on the floor at the same time. Got to bump each other up against each other. You know, one person got to be off the floor at the time, but on the last unit with Death Row House, the stairs are pretty big. We hold it up. You know,
Okay, so it's a bigger cell. Like each death row inmate who's scheduled to be executed has pretty much like a roomy cell.
Yeah, it's not a nice big cell. All cells the same size, but the only thing on death watch when you to be executed, you got a camera in your cell, and they watch and monitor your behavior, what you're doing. The last 72 hours, they write it down. They log it down. Which, you know, if you use the restroom, if you do some push-ups, and you write a letter, if you trying to cut yourself, because basically they don't want you to hurt yourself.
Right.
They want to be the ones to take you down and make your punishment. You know, give you your punishment. You know. They want to do it. They want to do a lot of dudes try to hurt themselves because they do whatever. So they got to camera these cells on death watch. You know, until they come get you that morning and execute.
Okay.
The cells, you got radio. So you got the chaplain. You got chaplain radio. Hot pot. You got commentary. You know, all the you know, you got everything everybody else got population, but you get death row inmates. You segregate from everybody else. So everybody that, you know, they got moved down. On third floor of death row, they finally got rid of TV. But when I was there, we didn't no recruit, no human contact. Only human contact, only person human contact, you don't get that when you go to business. When they handcuff you, that's the only time you have human contact. And you see your hands through the beam slide over the door, you handcuffed. Everywhere you go on their boat, you get escorted and shot. Even when you go to the shower, the handcuffs, shackles, they put you in the shower, they take the shackles out of the shower, they come back and get you, shackle you down, bring you back to your bed. That's the only contact you have.
So death row inmates are not like free to kind of congregate with each other, play board games, sit around. They keep y'all segregated from each other.
Yeah, they keep us. We got single cells. We live by ourselves in a single cell, but we do our rent. You know, have enough office or whatever. We go to a cage, like you know, when you go to the zoo, a cage. You know.
So the day room.
The only thing in the day room.
The day room is a cage, and how many people are allowed in that cage at one time?
One.
Okay.
One person in the cage is not, you know, one person. They got a table, they got a pull-up bar, and that's it, and a toilet. But now they got a TV in there, and they just started giving breakfast so death row. They go out like 7 at a time.
So seven.
Going back to the old way.
7 at a time, but 7 different cages. Oh,
They got recruits going on right now.
okay. So they
Bring it
can,
back like it used to be.
so they can dap up, play games together if they wanted to, shit like that.
They play games, stab each other, fight, whatever they want to do.
Right, right. I guess that's what I was getting at. So on movies and different things, you hear people saying that a inmate that's about to be put to death can request a last meal. And most of the time in movies, they act as if like this meal can be anything they want, kind of extravagant or whatever. But from your experience, is that true, or tell us what that last meal may look like?
But right now, when I got to Cartel From, we had the last meal. We still have last meal, but it was the Cartel From inmate. When the guy Jasper, that bird got drugged, Jasper, right?
Yeah.
But one of the guys who participated in that, he ordered a whole lot of food. That was back when you could get anything you want. Whatever you want, they're gonna give it to you.
Okay.
But he ordered a whole lot of food. He didn't eat it. So when he didn't eat it, that stopped him from inmates to getting the last meal request what they want. So now what they did, they let you get whatever they cook. Like whatever on the menu at the wall unit that day,
Yeah.
that's what you get for your last meal, but it be a lot. Like on Wednesday, on the execution, they serve chicken. Okay, they bring you a whole cart full of chicken, dessert, and juice. You know, it'll be a lot.
Man, nigga don't want that shit.
But the thing is, the last meal is, people don't understand the last meal, but the last meal is for to
Make you feel like a human being.
Nah, if you telling the execution you forgive them for killing, that's what the last meal means. When they give you the last meal and you eat it, you telling the execution you forgive them for killing. That's the last meal really means.
Saying like you accept the last meal and you forgiving them for about to take you out or whatever.
Yeah, execute, for killing.
Okay, okay. So being in that type of situation, now that they're able to have, you know, a little more mix and mingle with 7 people in the day room, would that be like a very intense type situation because everybody pretty much ain't got nothing to lose? Or what you think that situation might look like?
I mean, it's the same way. You know, that's been convicted and sentenced to jail for capital murder. So, you know, you basically know what you're around. So, I mean, it won't be an intense thing to be in a day room with a bunch of capital murderers. You know, face death is just, you got to be careful, you know, because, you know, everybody, like you say, everybody got really nothing to lose. And, you know, you want to be respectful and not do the wrong thing, you know, keep it back against the wall type thing, you know, because you never know who. You know, even when a reporter recruits, you know, the first thing you do when you come out the cell is shower. You back out the cell, you come out the cell, and you're going to create your distance to where you even walk close to nobody's cell. You don't even walk close to your friend's cell because, you know, you never know who wants to stab you that day or who done lost their mind and say, fuck, I'm a blank. It's shake like a ball, shot, kill somebody, you know. You know, numerous dudes, I got a buddy, he got stabbed in by his neighbor, he was thinking that had all of them. He had my tell, you know, dude had a shank time to a pole to get him in the back of the head down and kill him. They had a nice life flight to the Georgia City Hospital in Galveston.
Yeah, the shank tire. Yeah, the shank tire to what?
end of a pole, a sharpened knife, you hook it on a pole and tie it on there real good. You got a long pole, so when you come out the cell, you go to the ball.
Right. So
Ram
like
it through the ball.
a little like an extension to catch you.
Yeah, like
Oh
a
my
long
God.
spear with a shank on it.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And he stuck him right in his head. When he went through his head, he fell on the ground.
And you say him and that guy, from what you knew, never even had an argument.
Yeah, he just let it on. You know, it's just one day he just flipped out. You know, got killed. You know,
Okay.
but
Stay right there for a minute. So, being in that type of situation, have you seen any individuals like maybe they was cognitive, beforehand? You used to chop it up with them. They sound like they had good sense, and then over time, like they mental just decay and they lose their mind. Have you experienced that?
yeah, every year, man, strong dude on death row and lose their mind, man. Like all the time, man. It's something to do, man. My mind is on death row right now. You know, they over there talking to themselves, playing with PCs all over the wall, and talking about these guys. This guy, I never crossed my mind. He was great.
Right.
But a lot of times, being in isolation 24 hours a day, or hour still, and the only thing you got to do is say, no, you're going to get executed. And, a lot of times you on this road, a lot of families, they don't know what to do, so they just slide back, instead of giving that support.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of guys, man, they give up.
They give up.
Some of them drop their pills and just get executed. Some of them just lose their mind. But it's all a mind thing, man. It's all about hope. So what kept me alive, man, what kept me alive on Death Row was keeping hope. I kept hope every day, I kept hope.
Wow. So, what you say would probably be the worst thing you seen when you was on death row?
The worst thing?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. I mean, but
Something that might stick out.
I seen one guy. Well, I didn't see it good, but I seen he stuck a house bottle up in his breast, tried to kill him, and he bled out. And they took him to the hospital and sewed him up pretty good.
So he stuck a hot sauce bottle in his. It had hot sauce. It had hot sauce in it.
And tried to bust him inside the bleed. Because they stuff on the hang itself. Going on, right? But he stuck a bottle up in his belt. They had to run to the hospital and fix him up, try to save his life. So he went bleeding there. He made thanks too, right?
Let me ask you a question. I don't mean to be so naive to this, but let's say he stick this hot sauce bottle, up there. Do we take the lid off that bitch and stick it up there? Do we, is it an open hot sauce bottle?
It's the ones we had, him kind of small at the top, kind of thick, going down, it gets bigger and bigger. So, it's a small man all the way up.
With the lid off?
Yeah, both. Yeah.
With the lid off, maybe?
I know he stuck it there. And when they brought him back to church, you know what I'm saying? The blood was all everywhere.
I wonder where he get that idea from. I ain't never heard no situation like that. Damn.
But it happened every now and then, you know, people make fun of, you know, saying he gets killed somebody and bring it up, you know,
They call him something.
you know, they call him hot dog. They say hot dog. Everybody start laughing, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But and they had boys eyeballs got folks dude chopped their fingers off, throw it on the run type shit. You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
Things go on, man.
Right.
Well, I ain't gonna say no things, but
Nah. Say, let me ask you this though. So the guards, right, knowing that they're around inmates that ain't got nothing to lose, do they have respect for the inmates, or do they treat them like any which kind of way?
it really depends on the officer. They don't just put any officer on their road. They put more officers on their road. They got experience and like really better personality. You know, most of the officers over there, man, they experience and they kind of treat us with respect. You know, you kind of give it and you get it. You know, it's a two-way street.
Right.
When it comes to that, you know.
Right.
You know, they come in, and most of them, you know, they get, you know, like when they come back to the drink group, it's like COVID came, that's when they started saying we going back to the drink group. I used to hear a lot of officers over there say, they see our drink group, I'm quit.
Yeah.
You know, but,
They ain't trying to hang out with you niggas.
But a lot of big quit, but I mean, really though, man, Jeff Rowe it ain't a bunch of, you know, like, Jeff Rowe is people that, you know, some of them guys over there in it, you know what I'm saying? Some of them ain't, you know.
Right.
Some of them never been in trouble. You know, you got guys on their road, you got folks out on their road, you got a judge on their road, you got doctors on their road, you got lawyers on their road. You know what I'm saying? You got people who just in the episode and just
What's the most famous?
think come home and just no back, you know?
Right.
So,
What's the most famous inmate you ever been locked up with?
on this road,
Just in all. Any of your stays, did you ever run into a celebrity while on lock?
yeah.
Already. No, I'm talking about. Okay.
Yeah, I think pretty guys down there, man. One of the most famous tunes I read was I gotta say
Yeah.
the guy
What was his name?
I was on the wall. Did the check
Nah. Look, let me ask you. Yeah. Right. Let me ask you this. So, female guards with the death row inmates, you ever heard of any one of them ever, mixing and mingling a little too close with the inmates?
You have 1 minute left.
A female guard can't pay for inmates on death row.
That answered my question. Hey, that answered my question to the T. Man, you want to give any shout outs? You got 1 minute, under 1 minute.
Yeah, man, I want to shout out to everybody. Shout out to y'all, man. Let y'all know, man. Every day you wake up, it's a blessed day, man. And boy, you will always keep hope, you know. And don't let one bad moment ruin your whole life or your whole day. It's a moment, you know. And anything possible, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything
Improper.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
Yeah, man, that was Cartel back at us. You know what I'm talking about? The dusting kind of settled. Thank God, you know, they dropped the death penalty on him, and now he's doing his time and whatnot. So he'll be dropping in, hanging out with the trio cast, you know what I'm saying, more often now. He got his situation better, got his own tablet, you know what I'm talking about. So he can listen to music and he could do a whole bunch, man. But like I told him, I ain't been doing too much, you know what I'm saying, YouTubing and whatnot, but I will start back. So I appreciate everybody that tuned in. It's your player partner, Hazel Lee, you know what I'm saying? And it's still the trio cast. That was Cartel, man. I'm out.